Well, we've been talking with journalists over the last couple of days throughout the convention. I've got one of them here who, very funny guy I've seen so far. It's Ellis Martin from ellismartinreports.com. You can download that, you can go to the website. You're here covering this. Can we talk a bit about what you do, a general overall view, what people can expect when they hear you?
Well, actually, I cover companies in the mining and resource space, sometimes the biotech space. I have a global audience of retail investors and fund managers looking for opportunity. And I've sort of fallen into this sector, the mining sector, gravitated towards it during the last 20 years because it's more fun prospecting for rocks, for gold, for silver. You never know what you're going to get. I own 4 miles worth of claims in the Yukon myself.
Yeah.
I went up there, got excited about it, and got some claims, and I have to work them.
Yeah.
Because if you don't work them, you don't know what you have. Am I a miner? Am I a prospector? No.
Yeah.
So that's even more dangerous.
Yeah.
So you have to surround yourself with people who hopefully know what they're doing, and before you get too deeply in debt, make sure that you've got an economic project, which is really true for any mining company anywhere.
How did you find your way up there?
I became friends with the Yukon Mining Alliance. Excuse me. And they invited me up. The government invited me up, and the land of the midnight sun.
Oh,
it was just gorgeous there. And I have some friends, some of the companies that are up there, Western Copper and Gold, and well, gosh, they're going to be watching this. Anyway, there's a plethora of companies up there, and I just found it to be a wonderful environment. You can almost feel the resource in the ground, the metal in the ground. Is that true, right?
I would say so.
You can feel it. It's a happy place. And instead of hanging out with all the suits like us, I found some prospectors. We became friends, drank a few beers, and I found something.
Very nice. I would say too that I didn't meet one person up there that didn't want to be there.
Oh, absolutely.
I also found myself still sitting in a bar at 11 o'clock at night because it was gorgeous sunshine.
Dirty Gritties, or what was the name?
Yes, that's right. We both have been there, you can tell, folks. I'd like to talk to you a bit about gold, if you don't
Sure,
mind.
absolutely.
Your thoughts?
Sorry?
Your thoughts?
My thoughts about gold, well, I'm a journalist, not a financial analyst, okay? And that means I don't know anything more, any less than any of the experts. But back when gold was $1,800, I didn't think it belonged there.
Yeah.
So I predicted it should go down to 900. Well, it made it down to 1,000. I didn't say exactly when, but it wasn't. And when it was down at 900, when it was down at about 1,000 or 1,050, I thought, well, this isn't right. This is too big of a dip. It should land at around $1,300, $1,400. It's been in that range, closer to $1,300 now for what, a year?
Yeah.
A year or more. It's where it's supposed to be. It may even be a little overpriced at the moment, and we can talk about that. Only because there's no fear story now, and gold has been a fear story for a very long time. The fear about gold was, and I think there was some manipulated fear, was, will Greece leave the EU? That was the story around, 2000, and I don't remember, 2007, 2008, maybe 2011, I don't remember. Before that it was, will the euro hurt the dollar? That was maybe 2001, 2002. So there's always a story. Will the euro collapse? That was another fear factor that's in there. So there's always been a fear factor attached to why people should invest in gold. Will the dollar collapse? So now there's no story. Gold's not following oil. Oil's coming up. Gold usually follows oil. The economy in the U.S., for all intents and purposes, is good. Job rates are down. So there's really no reason to invest in gold. Having said that, China and Russia continue to hoard it, continue to buy it, continue to store it, and at some point something will happen. We don't know what. So if there's any fear story at all, it's what are the Chinese and what are the Russians doing? Now, gold equities and the price of gold, there's still a huge gap between $1,300 an ounce for gold and some of these stocks. Here in this room, which are at 10 cents or 30 cents or $1,
right.
They need to be higher. Why not? So my advice, and I'm not a financial analyst, I'm a journalist like this gentleman over here, but been around the sector for about 20 years. My advice is to look for good companies with great management teams, great projects, great resources, near production, potential takeout candidates. And we have a company in the Yukon that sponsors our show, Triumph Gold, and they're in the way of Goldcorp. they're right in the way of Goldcorp, so they need to get out of the way. And so they're potentially a takeout candidate. So whether it's that company, and I'm not making any recommendations, I'm not allowed to, neither is this gentleman, whether it's that company or any other company, great management team, potentially really undervalued, in the way of a major or a takeout candidate, put perhaps 10% of your liquid assets in there or less and walk away for a while, whether it's a year or two. If your portfolio's hurting right now in this sector, you know, mine has taken a bit of a dive in the last year or two, year and a half. That's fine. Just don't sell anything, look away. And that's pretty much my advice.
I like your style, sir.
Thank you.
You're not an expert, but I think you've got some very good opinions there, which you can hear at ellismartinreports.com. And you can also download it, can you not?
You can download anything you want at any time.
Yes.